good morning, and welcome to another edition of Inside Cape Cod. This morning, I have the pleasure of having Norma Atwood with me, and you are the director of the Esprit Players, which is a local theater group here on the Cape for young adults with disabilities.
Correct. Yes, I'm performance director for them, and I was hired into that program about 4 years ago. But my background goes back further, working with disabilities. These people are amazing. When I first moved here, we moved in from Michigan and developed my studio program in South Yarmouth. And I was hired into the Coxswain Center for the Arts program with the Cape Cod CAN,
Nice.
Cape Cod Collaborative Arts Network. So Jim Hurley and I developed that program many years ago. And it was the same type of thought, to bring in the disabilities into people with disabilities, all forms of disabilities, into performance.
Yeah. And they're so good at it.
Oh, they're so fantastic. And so we were doing major programs, major musicals and major programs. Well, after leaving that program, I knew the Esprit Players because they were part of that Cape Cod CAN family that we had developed. And there became an opening about 4 years ago when Betty Densmore, who developed the Esprit Players.
I love Betty Dinsmore. I worked with her for many years when she was at Cape Cod Community College. And,
beautiful lady.
Amazing.
And, so she retired after developing. She developed this about 15 years ago, the Esprit program, and was working it. But God bless her, she decided to retire.
It was about time for her. She did so much good work at Project Forward. She really did. I almost interviewed for your job.
Oh my
very
goodness.
close. But then I got the radio gig.
How about that? So, they approached me because they knew I was just doing my own studio work and the whole thing, that maybe I'd be interested in being a part of the Esprit Players. And I loved everybody in the Esprit Players. I already knew them. I was already working with them for about 5 years. And I thought, okay, this would be interesting.
It's where you're supposed to be.
That's right. It's like a full circle. And so I started working with them. It was during the pandemic, a little bit before the pandemic. So we had to kind of hold off for a little bit. But now we are full swing. They are just amazing. They're just amazing to work with. So my background actually goes back to working with people with all kinds of abilities.
I like you said abilities, not disabilities.
Oh,
I like that.
All abilities. Yep. Back when I was living in Ohio, I actually was special needs in a classroom working. And not with music, though. It was just a classroom. But it was an amazing experience for about 2 years doing that until we got transferred again. We've been all over the country living. But we have all gravitated. It seems like everybody in my family has gravitated that way. My two daughters in Michigan, still work for Alternative Services, which is another disability organization.
Wonderful.
My oldest daughter runs the agency, and my middle daughter does the day program there. And so we've all just kind of gravitated to that.
It's in your blood.
These folks are wonderful to work with. And in my private studio, I'm the owner of Village Music in South Yarmouth at part of the Cultural Center of Cape Cod. And I teach privately, and quite a few of the folks. I teach them voice, I teach them piano. I love these folks because they're open. They want to learn. They want to enjoy.
They're honest, too.
They're
Even
honest.
if you don't want to hear it, they are honest.
They are honest.
I know Connor can't lie. Connor cannot lie.
No,
he's tried.
They ask you questions that are just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's an amazing network of folks.
Of individuals.
And one of my mantras is sing for joy. I just want to bring joy into their life. And it's not just the joy that I'm bringing into their life, but it's the joy they're bringing into my life.
Exactly.
Every day, and they have become friends. I'm the performance director of this Esprit Players group, and I come from the world of theater. I come from the world of music. So I have a lot of patience in working with these folks. And maybe we could just kind of go along and do our thing. But no. I want them to be the best. I want them to work hard. I want them, with a smile on their face, to enjoy this moment that they are creating. And they do.
Yes,
and
they do.
If you come to see any of our productions, you'll be so surprised.
I have seen several
You've
of
seen
them.
our productions?
Oh, yes, I have.
Yes. But the joy that they bring is to the audience, that anybody that's listening or watching, is just heartwarming.
You can see it. It's written on their faces how much they're enjoying entertaining people.
They are enjoying
and
this.
They're so bright and they're so funny.
That's why I just call them all the abilities, because I don't look at their disability.
Exactly.
I offer them the opportunities to create, and the singing, dancing, movement, expressions. They have grown so much in the past 4 years in working with them. They were wonderful before. They were fantastic before because I loved them dearly, back when they were working with Betty. But we brought a different formula kind of together. And I'm giving them the opportunity to express themselves if they want to create. Like there's one of the gals in the group that loves choreography.
I have a feeling I know what her name is.
Oh, yes. Miss Isa. And,
yes, Isa.
Yeah. And so she will bring in her thoughts. We had a rehearsal on Sunday. Now, we meet twice a month, which is amazing because we meet for an hour and a half twice a month, and they put on these major productions that are an hour long with just 2 rehearsals a month. It's a lot to ask of them, but they do it. But we had a rehearsal on Sunday because we're getting ready for our new performances. And that's kind of why I'm here, too, to promote this, so people will come see them. But on Sunday, we were going to run the show. We were going to go over the group numbers and all that. And Isa comes up to me and she says, "Hey, I've got an idea for 2 new numbers for choreography." Oh, great.
Yeah, just what you need, right?
But see, this is how I function. And I will, off the cuff, say, "Let's do this. Let's do that." And so Isa came up to me and she says, "I'm doing a Norma. I'm putting this in." And I said, "Oh, okay." So we added some new choreography on Sunday, like a month before we're putting shows up. But that's what I want them to do. I want them to own this organization too. I want them to be able to speak up and say, "I think we should do this. I think we should do that." It's giving them the creative process. And, I'm behind it 100% to say yay or nay, but I want them to be able to feel comfortable enough to be able to do that.
Exactly. And then you also have another wonderful player, Stephanie.
Oh, Miss Stephanie.
Yep, she's a singer, a dancer.
She certainly is.
Unbelievable.
Steffi is just wonderful out there.
All of them are.
And Ben, of course, is...
Oh, my, Willie Nelson's Ben.
Oh, Willie. Willie just turned 91. So,
I know.
I got that text.
Yeah. And of course, and Ben is...
But
he's got
Ben
the
is amazing. I mean, there are certain folks within the group that are the leaders, and they will help along the way. They will be the main focus, in some of the shows. But it's the other individuals that are in that group.
The supporting actors.
Absolutely warm my heart because they know that they're probably not going to get a solo or they're not going to get a duet or something like that.
But
they're there.
It doesn't matter.
They're there and they're trying and they're working and they're smiling, and it's a family. I just wrote an email to all my friends the other day, and I said, they say that it takes a village to grow a family or to work with a family. No, I say it takes a village to make a show. And that's the village that we have right now is this beautiful Esprit Players.
Yeah. And you have your summer lineup?
Oh, we do. We have 4 shows coming up.
Okay.
And the first show is actually going to be on Sunday, June 2nd. And that is around 3:30 in the afternoon. And that's at Eventide Theater in Dennis.
Very nice.
So that's very nice because they actually get to perform on a stage. And a lot of the venues that we're at, it's not really a stage situation.
Right. You're in churches and you have you have the step ups.
And Eventide is just a lovely place to perform. So that's their first show. Second show is actually going to be at the Maplewood Mayflower Nursing Facility, June 29.
You guys do wonderful work by going to the facility.
Yep. And that one is basically for the residents. We do that for the residents. And having done quite a few shows through my different organizations that I work with, that is really joy. The folks, they can't believe what they're seeing,
They can't.
and the room is just filled with music and laughter, and I love performing there.
And it makes such a difference to the people that are there. Actually, before you, Betty Dinsmore did bring, I had a friend in a nursing home in Mashpee, and I said, they'd love to have you come to a show. And Stephanie knew that this woman, and they made such a fuss over everybody. They were such great kids, great performers, huge hearts, and they sang and danced their little hearts out. And these people were amazed at how beautiful it was. And it made to see the smiles on their faces.
Oh, yeah.
Was incredible. I hate to say it, but sometimes you feel like you're being left. And when you're in a nursing home, a couple of days seems like a week or 2 weeks, but you get young people like this in, and they're dancing, and their outfits, and their costumes, and their enthusiasm. It makes their day.
Makes their day.
So I love that aspect.
And we were, of course, they performed there last year along the way. And, oh, yes, we got the invitation to come back. Must come back.
Of course.
So we're doing that one. And then July 7, we're actually going to be at the Cultural Center of Cape Cod.
Ooh.
And that's a 2:00 performance. That's where I have my studio is there. And it's a beautiful venue to perform in.
And what town is that in?
In South Yarmouth.
Oh.
So that's going to be a beautiful venue because they're going to be actually in the Grand Hall this time. They were in the small room the first time we performed over there. So they're going to be in there. So that is July 7th. And Sunday, July 14th, we're at the Osterville United Methodist Church in Osterville.
Beautiful place,
and that's
too.
at 2:00. Well, that's been a lovely situation because Pastor John there has welcomed us into that facility. And that's where we do our rehearsals and do a show over there. We've been invited back, of course, to do another show there. And that's going to be this July 14th show.
Now, are they variety shows?
Variety shows.
Okay, I know that, but I wanted to get that out there.
Oh, yes, definitely variety shows. We have a lineup of music that's just, this is going to be an incredible show. It really, really is. There's a lot of energy in it. There's just a lot of wonderful music in it. I'm trying to give as many people the opportunities to be a star, I guess, along the way. So there's some folks that are going to be doing things probably for the first time, which is a lot of fun to get that confidence up.
It is a confidence builder for sure. You get them up on stage and the first time they hear a clap, they're hooked. That's it.
Well, that's one of my things, even in teaching privately, that's one of my goals for everybody is confidence, is to work with the confidence. We all have abilities. We all have special abilities. Whether we're a poet or whether we're a singer, whether we're a dancer, whether we're whatever, we have these special abilities. So it's great to be able to focus those. I have a young gal that I'm working with now, that Blair, and she is one of my private students, and she's in the Esprit Players, and her confidence has been growing and growing and growing. And she's a beautiful little singer. So it's fun to watch.
The satisfaction that you feel, too, when you're able to bring these things out in these children.
It really is. It's heartwarming. It just makes my day. It's when we come to a rehearsal on a Sunday, and sometimes I'll go, oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, but once I get there, it's like, oh, okay, guys, let's do it.
Yep.
Let's go. But I try to approach every rehearsal and every performance professionally, but with heart and with really giving them the best that I can and to encourage them and to grow. Yeah. And they really have, grown a lot.
They rise to the occasion. I've been teaching at Project Forward for 15 years now.
Okay.
Which is how I met Connor. He was one of my crazy students way back in the
That's
early
a beautiful
2000s.
Program. That is just amazing.
It is. And that's why I know a lot of these young people because I had Stephanie when she was really young. And it's just incredible. And so I'm well aware of the Esprit and all the wonderful things that you've been doing because Connor keeps me upright. See, he's the only one of my students that did not listen to me. I said, don't go into radio ever. There's no money. It's hard to get a job. And 9 years later, he comes over here and applies for a job without even telling me and gets it.
Gets the job.
And now he's the morning show executive producer.
Well, I can't do what I do without Connor. He is my
I feel
side.
the same way.
It's crazy. I'm a very creative person, I guess, with my degree programs in music and theater and all that, and my experience since I was 8 years old when I started the Conservatory of Music in Boston. as a special student. And so all these years and all that, the good Lord gave me gifts, but he forgot the electronics. So
Yes.
that's why I married an electrical engineer. But Connor is my backbone because I will call him up and say, Connor, can we do this? Can you get me the CD? Can you get me that music? So Connor's great to work with. I appreciate him so much.
And he loves to help.
Yeah, he is.
Really does.
He's a beautiful person.
He is. And his lovely wife, of course, Chelsea.
Chelsea, she's got a heck of a voice too.
Yes, she does.
But no, it's a network, and it's not just me, Connor, and the players.
Right.
There's our helpers too, because we have two helpers that are on the sidelines. And
What are their names?
Paula Phillips and Sophie Kirby. And so they are on the sidelines, and they each have a side. And so they help as far as getting that microphone going back and forth.
Getting the props to
keeping everybody together, and having them come in and out. So, yeah.
Special thanks to them.
Very special thanks to them because, again, it's a family. It really is a village. We have to work together to have this. And speaking of that is our Together Everyone is our title for this variety show.
I love it.
Because we are working together. And our last song in it is from the musical, it was the kids' musical that was Together Everyone. And so it's very, very very exciting and to watch. But together, that's it.
And it's going to be shown in all various places across the Cape this
summer.
Oh,
yeah.
So you'll have to keep us posted again on the dates.
The dates. Definitely. June 2nd. And that's going to be at Eventide Theater in Dennis. And that's at 3:30. Saturday, June 29. That's at Maplewood, Mayflower, and that's at 2 o'clock, and that's in West Yarmouth. Sunday, July 7. That's Cultural Center of Cape Cod. That's at 2 o'clock, and that's in South Yarmouth. And Sunday, July 14, that's at Osterville United Methodist Church in Osterville, and that's at 3 o'clock. These performances are all going to be open. The only one that we don't open to the public is the Maplewood Mayflower, because that's for the residents over there.
Right.
But everything else, we would encourage people to come and
bring a small monetary donation.
Yes,
which is always very nice.
Very grateful for any donation that might like to come through for us.
So you can get things you need for the shows.
And just when you come, just bring a smile, be open.
Cash.
Enjoy. Yeah, cash.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, that,
You'll accept checks.
I'll take anything. But no, I'll take a hug. I'll take a congratulations and come just enjoy. That it's the most incredible experience. Everybody that comes in to see these shows leaves smiling.
And they come back
And
again.
they come back again.
And again.
And it's just refreshing to be able to see these folks that have, and I guess we have to say it, the disabilities. Some challenges. Overcome.
Yes.
Overcome.
And they do. They do overcome them. And that's why it's fun. Even if it's the same show, you start at the first one of the year or the season, and then by the time you get to the last one, if you see all of them, there's a lot of changes.
Oh, my gosh.
There are so many changes, so much confidence, so much just into it.
Well, it's interesting because even at the first show, when we're going to be on a stage, I have to stage things that day.
Differently.
Just a little differently. Yeah. So it's quick.
Yeah.
And you do that to, per se, another production or whatever, and people would be really confused. With my folks, we run the whole show before we run the show.
Yes.
We do a walkthrough. So we do a walkthrough for everything. That way their confidence is really boosted and they know exactly what's going on. So the next time we get together, we do the same thing. We do the walkthroughs again.
Yep.
We go through it and make sure everybody's comfortable, everybody's happy. And that's going to happen for each show. For the final show that we're going to be doing on July 14th, Pastor John is actually going to be doing a little puppetry.
Oh, how nice. Oh, that'll be a special treat.
Oh, very special treat.
Excellent.
He's a lovely person. So he's going to be doing a little puppetry in our show. So that's something else to look forward to.
Absolutely.
You just never know. And I tell the players all the time that you have to be open for change. And
Always.
It's hard. It's hard to to make a change because you just wonder how they're going to really adapt to that. After 4 years of working with me, they're getting used to it. And it's nice. And I think they like the challenge sometimes.
Of course they do, just like everybody else.
They like that challenge. They like the challenge of being aware.
Yeah.
And
Norma Atwood, I could talk to you all morning long. Unfortunately, our time is up. But I do appreciate you so coming in here and telling us all about your wonderful Esprit Players and what's coming up this summer. And I want you to come back when you've got another lineup.
I will definitely come back.
Okay.
I will definitely. And thank you so much for inviting me because it's wonderful to spread the news.
It is. And there's so much good going on here on Cape Cod. And this kind of sometimes gets hidden a little bit. So now we're bringing it to light. That's what Inside Cape Cod is all about.
Yes.
So Norma Atwood, thank you so much. Applause, applause, applause to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And break a leg this summer.
Thank you so much.
You know what that means. Not literally, people. Not literally. Okay, we don't want that. Anyway. All right. So I have been speaking with Norma Atwood from the Esprit Players, and thank you so very much for joining me. And that's going to do it for this special edition of Inside Cape Cod, heard on all 4 of our Coxswain media stations every Sunday morning at this time. Thank you for listening. I'm Mina Greene.